Let's give a big welcome to Christina Flach. Welcome, Christina.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me today.
Yes, I'm good. Thank you for joining me and my online thyroid army. So as I was learning about you, by the way, I had a really good time diving into you and your life and everything you've been working on, and I'm so impressed.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
Yeah. So I was looking around and I was just like, sheesh, she's had such a fun and fabulous career. So I want to give your work a shout out really fast. So
Oh,
Christina is a world-renowned celebrity makeup artist with experience working with celebrity clientele like Renee Zellweger, Tucker Carlson, Roy, Tyler Florence, Bobby Flay, Dylan Glimmer, Geena Davis, the band Journey, and Lars Ulrich from Metallica. I was like, what? How fun. So you've also
I
worked, oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine. So you've also worked with tons of top designers like Giorgio Armani, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Neiman Marcus, Bloomingdale's, and Saks Fifth Avenue. And as if that wasn't enough, you've been featured in practically every magazine that exists and on every media outlet as well. And
wow.
yeah, I'm like, what haven't you done? That's why I'm like, your career is like incredible. So you
Yeah.
also created your own lip gloss called Pretty Girl Makeup. Super cute name. And I love the slogan, which is every girl is a pretty girl. So I was like, okay, can I come hang out with you for a day?
Anytime. I would love it.
Seriously, so amazing. So, with how much you have, all of the amazing people you've met, the amazing reach you've created, of course, I think everyone's first thought that isn't, super familiar with you is like, where did this begin? Like, how did you go down this path? So, I'd like to just start at the beginning if you don't mind and like tell me about how this all started.
I started working on Family and Friends, and it kind of segued from there. I did, proms, weddings, and then a photographer asked me to do a shoot, and then I started doing more shoots, and then I had enough images to submit to get an agent. And then that kind of was a game changer when I got signed with Ford Artists. And I'm back actually with Ford Artists. They're one of I have three different agents, but Ford is my home agency. And I got, you just start doing one celebrity and then it leads to another TV show or another fashion designer. And you work really hard and, say yes to everything. And then sometimes you say, this morning I had a photo shoot at 6 a.m., which meant I had to get up at 3:30. Sometimes you have to do things for your agent that you're tired, but you go do it because he asks a favor. So then next time something fabulous like a Rita Moreno People magazine shoot come up, then you get to do it. So sometimes it's not always. I had a man from an elderly man that actually he was the secretary of the Treasury in the Obama years. And so I went and he was on Bloomberg today. So I went and did his grooming for TV. So it's always an adventure going somewhere interesting, meeting someone interesting. And it's really great. I love it.
I mean, what's not to love about that? I mean, I understand like getting up early and being tired and like working your freaking butt off. But
Yeah. I mean, today
yeah,
wasn't the hardest day, but it was an early day. So it's a little hard when you have to wake up super early. I never seem to sleep well the night before a shoot.
mm,
You're kind of waking up every hour, even though you set an alarm. I don't, this is a kind of an odd fact of me. I am like an alarm clock. Like I can tell myself I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. or whatever time, and I will wake up literally at 1 minute before then. Like
that's pretty incredible superhuman power you have.
that's my superpower.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll give you some anxiety and sleep support after this. I'll hook you up with some help because
Yes.
I know those feelings, when you're kind of anxious and you have to get up and you have all these things to do. It's like, you can just kind of get wrapped up in almost your to-do list or a little bit of anxiety. And then before you know it, you can't sleep. And then your day kind of is extra hard because now you're really tired on top of it. So
Yes.
I've been there many, many times. Yeah. I got some things for that. So, reading through all of your other awesome work about you or information about you just personally, I noticed that you're a single mom and I really resonated with that. I mean, I don't know if you still are, but that's what it says. And I am as well. And I know the feeling of balancing children and their career. So how has that been for you?
Well, my husband passed away 5 years ago. And so, but my kids have a dad. So I am a single mom, but not really. My kids have a dad and my kids are grown up too. So I shouldn't even say that I'm still, I mean, I am a single mom, but not like
Got
they
it.
weren't, they're grown, but my youngest is 16. So I have one left of my five.
Yeah.
That is
I
still, yes, who is still getting, yeah, his dad just sent me a note that he has a golf tournament tomorrow morning, has to be there like at 7:30, which means get another early day. So that's the hardest part, I think, is the driving around and getting up early. I mean, I don't sleep in late, but just I like to sleep till 6:30 or 7. So waking up at 5 is a little hard a couple days in a row.
I'm totally with you. I'm like one of those, I need my 9 hours or else I'm going to be
Right?
not
Sleep
good.
is
Sleep
most
is
important.
so freaking important to like every aspect of health, just being able to like
100%.
collect your thoughts. Yeah, like have the
That is
energy.
the best beauty tip I can give, and it's free. It's beauty sleep. They don't call it beauty sleep for a reason. That's real. It's not a wise tale.
Absolutely. I agree. Like when we don't sleep, what happens to us in the morning? We're all puffy.
Right?
We,
And
we all,
everything is magnified worse than it is. Like things aren't even that bad, but it just seems like it is when you're tired.
true that.
Mhm.
So mention of your husband passing is, I don't really know anything about that, but I did notice that you raise funds for sepsis. Is that
Yes.
part of that?
Yes. So I was married to Ken Flach. He was a professional tennis player, former #1 doubles player with his partner, Rob Seguso. And he got sick with bronchitis, which turned to pneumonia, which turned into sepsis. And so after he passed, the Sepsis Alliance contacted me and asked if I'd be willing to raise awareness for the signs of sepsis. And I thought that that would be a great idea to help honor him and to save other lives.
That's really sad. I'm sorry to hear that. And um, so do you mind telling me a little bit more around that?
What do you want to know about the sepsis, or where do
Yeah,
you want
just like, so you said he went from bronchitis to pneumonia to sepsis.
sepsis? So sepsis is a infection of the blood that
Mhm.
attacks all your vital organs. So if you go to sepsis.org and scroll down, there's a little diagram that says time. And what that is T is for temperature. You can be incredibly hot or incredibly cold. I is for infection in some place in your body. M is for decline. They start kind of getting a little hard to rouse and they're not thinking quite as clearly. And E is for excruciating pain. You feel like you're dying because you are. There's a golden window that you can be treated with an IV antibiotic and you'll be saved. But one of the things with sepsis, once you get sepsis, you're more inclined to get it again. So if you ever get those, signs that you have any of those symptoms, you need to get to a hospital and get get an IV antibiotic and get a blood test, which is very quick and they know.
That's really interesting. I actually have never thought about this. I haven't thought about this in a really long time. And no one has actually even talked to me about this ever. But I know exactly what you're talking about. Because when I was married, my husband at the time, he ended up getting sick at work. And I could tell it was like a cold turning bronchitis. And I was like, dude, you got to get to the doctors. Like, you need to get some antibiotics. And he was like, no, I'm good. One of those dudes that just wanted to like, I'm going to man through this, and make it go away. And he's like,
Yeah.
and at the time, like his work, he was running a shop by himself as like the mechanic and the smog tech and, manager. It was unfair, but he was like a one-man show for this guy. And that was part of the reason why he felt the pressure, like he couldn't go to the doctors. And then that weekend, he was like, oh, I am invited to go to the desert. And it was the winter. So it was really cold. And I was like, whoa, dude, like you're already really sick. You sure you want to do that? And I was like, you're going to come home sicker. And sure enough, he didn't listen to me. He came home even sicker. And it was like another entire week went by. And I've never heard anyone coughing like that or looking like that. And he was just so, so sick. And finally, 2 weeks later, he was like, okay, now it's to the point where like we had to go to the ER.
Right.
So we go to the ER and it was a terrible hospital and it took them like 5 hours to check us in. And as soon as they looked at him, they were like, holy freaking crap. Like both of his lungs were almost completely maxed out with fluid and he could have died. And it was the scariest thing I'd ever seen. This, like lung team came in and just literally like barbarically jabbed a tube through his rib cage and into a hose to drain it. And I was standing right there and he was awake. He wasn't sedated or anything.
Oh my God.
I know. And then all this brown fluid started going into this container. Excuse me. And they said it was pneumonia. So when you just said all of that, I was like, you just gave me flashbacks. And I honestly never connected the two of like, if we hadn't have intervened like right then, he probably would have gone septic and died.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with sepsis. Like, how most of the time you have a cold and you think, oh, if I don't feel better tomorrow, I'll go to the doctor.
Yeah.
But this is different. It's a feeling that you don't know. It's kind of like childbirth. It's a pain you don't know exists. It's not like the normal cold. And the problem is with sepsis, as you know, you don't have till tomorrow. If you have those signs or you're feeling like knowing your body, it's not your normal cold or flu, get to the hospital. It's just better to be safe than sorry, because once it gets past this golden window of treating, your organs shut down. Mm-hmm. So to give you a time reference, we had called the doctor on Wednesday. They gave him cough medicine with codeine. And even though we said he had, infection in his nose and lung and everything, they didn't give him an antibiotic and an inhaler. The problem with that, if you are given cough medicine with codeine and an inhaler and no antibiotic to counteract the infection, your infection is going to grow at like a wildfire. So instead of getting better in 12 hours, he was spitting up blood. So it's just, and then I rushed him to the emergency Thursday morning. He's spitting up blood. They put him on life support right then and there, and he never regained consciousness. So I know what you mean. They put the tube down his throat right in front of me, and it was awful to watch because he was conscious and he was trying to fight it because, something's getting shoved down your throat. It was terrible. So,
wow.
And then that was Thursday. So by Monday, all of his arms and legs started turning black and all his organs were shutting down. And I asked a specialist when the discoloration was going to go away. And they said, if he survives, his arms and legs would be amputated.
Oh my gosh, which is like no quality of life.
Yeah. And that was on Monday. So I knew Monday night I had to take him off life support because I would never let that happen to him.
Right. Especially as an athlete.
Yes, especially. Yes.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing all of that. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. So yeah, I'm with you. When you experience something like that, that's really awesome to be able to turn around and raise awareness and give back, because it's probably more common than people realize, I would imagine.
It's amazingly common. And once you get sepsis, unfortunately, you're more likely to get it again. So people that get sepsis once end up getting it 2 or 3 times.
probably just takes a toll on their immune system. And so they can go septic
It just kind of
faster,
goes.
I would imagine.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, it makes sense. Well, thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So, not something that we normally educate on, not something that I even really know. It's not in my niche. So I don't really know about that. But thank you. I love learning new information and being able to spread awareness too and help. So, shifting gears, I wanted to talk to you about makeup and ingredients and all of these things because as a thyroid coach, one of the things that I focus on is the entire endocrine system, right? Because it all works together. Our thyroid doesn't function apart from the rest of our hormones. And I'm always having to educate my clients on ingredients, and I go through like a toxin and environmental analysis, like toxic analysis of their homes, their personal care products, and makeup is one of those ones, especially for me personally, because I love it so freaking much. I could probably be a makeup artist with you. That I always worry about just everything I've learned when it comes to makeup. And so the EWG, are you familiar with them? The Environmental Working Group. So I pulled this off their website. It says, there is a class of potent chemicals that are wreaking havoc by interfering with our hormone systems. They're called endocrine disruptors, and they throw off the regular function of the hormone system, causing a wide range of health problems. These substances can be found in thousands of consumer and industrial products. So after that, when I was looking at your lip gloss line, your mission statement of Pretty Girl Makeup says, you point out that each gloss contains high quality ingredients that will not only look good on you, but be good for you. And it says vegan, of course, clean beauty, check, cruelty free, you bet. And it goes on to say, we promise you will never find any complicated ingredients and words you can't pronounce. And I love that. I mean, that's the way it should be. We should read food or a drink or makeup label and be like, awesome, I know what that means. So I just was curious because you've been in the industry for so long, what's your thoughts on like toxic or poor ingredients being used in makeup?
Well, obviously why would anyone want to do that purposefully? I think maybe 20 years ago, people were unaware, but now people are quite aware. And I think it's important. I do believe in beauty from the inside out. And obviously that begins with what we put on our skin, because it's the biggest cell we have is our skin, and it is absorbed into our bloodstream. So that's super important, along with diet, exercise, rest, water, all of the above. And I think all of those things, happiness, love, joy, they all make us look like better versions of ourselves. So I do think all of that is super important, and protecting our skin from the sun, sunscreen, hats, glasses, all of that. You can't get enough skin protection. So it's a lot.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, I love how you're like, everything matters, so that you can glow from the outside in. And I was curious, like, do you have a favorite like clean beauty makeup line? If you're like, I really want to turn to a super awesome clean line, do you have one that you like promote or you stand behind?
Well, I don't, there are so many amazing brands out there, and I couldn't specifically Goop, I love all that.
mhm.
All the brands that I use are all pretty clean. So I can't really, I'm not getting paid by, a lot of the brands that I use. So I would just
Oh
say
yeah.
there's a lot out there. There's not one in particular that I love. There's just, in my makeup kit has a lot of different brands besides my own.
Yeah, I didn't mean one that you're getting paid of, just like maybe like a favorite that like you always turn to when you're like, I know I want a really, clean powder or a foundation or a primer that's not full of a bunch of just crap.
Yeah, I don't I can't say I have one that's favorite. I have so many different ones
Mm.
that I love. I love Bobbi Brown. I love NARS. Oh God, it just, I get sent a lot of products. I love Neolastin. That's a really great skincare. I love Tatcha. It's beautiful. I like that. There's so many great brands out there. So I
Yeah,
think
there
everyone
really are.
find one within their price point that they like. It's important to keep your makeup brushes clean, as well as your products that you use. You want to not let them get too old. Mascara, you want to, swipe out every couple, 2-3 months, because they start drying out.
Mhm.
And then the makeup brushes. I mean, talk about things being toxic. People don't clean their makeup brushes as often as they should. I like to wipe them off with a makeup wipe at least once a week, and then wash them with warm soap and water and conditioner and let them dry. So, I mean, a lot of eye infection and skin irritation can happen from unclean brushes. That's something super important. Getting off your mascara every night, your eyeshadow, all of that stuff. I can't tell you how many people will tell me that they don't take off their mascara. It is
Are you
like, oh,
serious?
I'm appalled. I'm like, oh, so you don't brush your teeth? Is that kind of the same? To me, it's the
Right?
same.
Thank you. That would feel horrible. Okay, if anyone does that out there, we're sorry, but you got to take your freaking mascara off and brush your teeth. Basics.
So, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty basic, but not everyone does. So, and not everyone cleans their makeup brushes.
I was
So
just
that's,
gonna say that. I'm like, thank you for pointing that out. I'm like, shit, when's the last time I cleaned my brushes?
I know it's pretty funny, and they do need to be clean. Also, if you want and this seems super basic to me, but like, so I have like I have a million brushes, but like, I'll just say the ones that are in my bathroom. I have one for the brows, to fill in the brows.
Mhm.
Eyeshadow. Okay, so my eyeshadows brushes, like I have one that is designated just for light, like cream colored, white, goldish colors, really
Mhm.
light. I only use that couple brushes for that. And then the darker ones that I use for liner or to work in the crease are for dark. But I don't, if you want to keep that makeup brush pure, that with the light color, you cannot be putting dark on it. It will not get a true pigment. So that's really important as well.
I learned that a long time ago, and I have been doing that. Yeah, and I hate the crossing because well, they do different things. The one brush for the white is like I use as a base, and it's kind of like a
Right.
more like I can pack it on a little more
Right.
versus like the darker, and it's more of like a blending brush. And yeah, but okay, so wash your brushes because that's foul to just not wash
Well,
your
I mean, think
brushes.
about it. I have people that are really concerned. I had this one woman come, she wanted a consultation with me, and she was just obsessed with this clean beauty and what's going into it, and she had the nastiest, dirtiest brushes I've ever seen. And I thought, you've got like a coronavirus growing here on your brushes. So
Oh my God.
why you're so worried about what you're putting on your skin, because those are going to give you God knows what
Holy
disease.
shit. I seriously never thought about that. We're like over here,
No,
like,
I
oh,
mean,
the
she told me
ingredients.
she had them for years and never cleaned them, and I'm like, you're
Oh,
putting
yeah.
foundation on top. I'm like, I don't worry about the clean beauty. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
run
This
into
is
the
seriously a
funniest
really good
people.
point. This is a really good point because, like, what if okay, like, say you wanted to switch like your foundation to a cleaner foundation, but yet you never brushed it. And then you have all the other nasty foundations. And then on
It's
top of all of just the oils and the dirt and all the
and
shit
then
in the
just the
air.
air that's exposed to the germs.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Especially in your
travel,
bathroom. Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. Our friend uses it, your kid, I don't even know, but
Oh, my
it can
kid, dude, my
be a,
daughter.
it can be a situation. So I try to, keep those makeup brushes clean. It's very important.
All right. So the way I clean my brushes, tell me if this is good. So I just literally take my face wash and I kind of just go on my hand and I rub them in a circle on my hand. And then I rinse them and then kind of do that like multiple times to get everything out. And then I do that until the brush is basically just clean looking. There's nothing else coming out of it.
So I think it's kind of important, if with your makeup brushes, treat them like hair. So I would wash them with shampoo and conditioner. and let them air, get the excess water out with a paper towel and then let them air dry. But I would not be using really harsh, face cleanser on your makeup brushes, because it's not going to protect, it's going to dry out the brush. You want to keep them, soft and supple, but clean. So I think shampoo, conditioner might be better. And sometimes I will say, like, if I am like my brush that has the foundation and concealer, sometimes I have to go use a stronger soap, like a dishwasher soap, dishwasher liquid. But I usually use actually products that are just to clean. But once in a while, like the foundation one, it's like kind of there's all kinds of stuff in it. It needs something a little stronger. But the other ones I would just be a little gentler with.
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah. Okay.
So I will like use a makeup wipe to just get the excess stuff. And then I'll put it in the disinfectant makeup brush cleaner, and then maybe use this, soap or shampoo, conditioner.
Yeah. Sponges too. I mean, we all know sponges are like I smooth my foundation out with a sponge. And I thought about that like 2 weeks ago. I was like, I haven't washed my sponge in 2 weeks. I'm all, oh God, what am I doing? So I washed it again.
I stopped using the makeup sponges. They're just, especially if I'm on a photo shoot and I'm, doing so many people all the time, I just don't use them. I just use my brushes. I can get the same effect.
Got it.
But if it's just, you and your face, that's great. But you really do need to clean them off.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when you're saying like, we're sitting here trying to like avoid all these nasty ingredients, but yet people aren't washing their brushes for years on end and then wondering why they might have, skin problems. Like that's that makes sense. But yeah, your sponges are in on that too, everyone. Geez, that's such a good point. I'm gonna go wash all my brushes after this. I'm like, oh shit. It's been like a couple months for me, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. So the women that follow me battle a lot of daily symptoms like low energy, and they may not have the desire to do like a full face of makeup. They might not just have the strength to do a full face of makeup, but we all know when we look good, we feel good, right?
Yeah.
So
we're all.
Yeah. So as an expert, I was just thinking like, I wonder if you could give everyone some basic makeup tips of how they could have that pretty natural look without piling on products and taking a long time.
Absolutely. So it's really important to just start with clean skin, which means wash with a cleanser, exfoliate a couple times a week, putting on an eye cream, serum to just protect your skin. Your makeup's going to look better if your skin's in good shape. And it's just something that needs to be done consistently. I start with concealer under the eye and then on top of the lid typically, because I have discoloration underneath and on top of the lid. Most people do have some form of discoloration on top of their lid. So getting like, having the moisturizer there, you definitely don't want to be using powder underneath. It shows fine lines and wrinkles, but keeping it moist with a concealer, foundation to just lighten up that area. I like to then follow up with filling in the brows, whether it be with just a soft shadow, the same color as your hair, or a brush, or brow brush, totally up to you. I would then next do like a creamy eyeshadow underneath the brow and then all on the center. I get a liner, whether it be black, brown, or plum, let's just say, and a thin line in the lashes and underneath. And then with a shadow matching like the color of the liner, you can go over it. It gives longevity, but it also gives a softer look as well. So it doesn't look quite so harsh. I do not like liquid liner on light skinned people. I don't like it on anybody in the day. It is definitely a nighttime holiday kind of going out thing. It's not something that I think looks appropriate every day during the day. But also liquid liner is also tricky because if you make a little mistake, it's a disaster. And so if you are practicing with your liner, and everyone needs to practice if they're going to use it, and you make a little mistake, put just a line of shadow on top of it, and it will hide any little mistake that you make. You don't always have to put in the crease of the eye to make it look a little darker. You can do that for night. Mascara, start at the bottom of the lash and extend it, and then into the corner of the eye, make that to be, you want that longer than by your nose. A little blush or bronzer on the cheeks. If you have excess skin under the chin, I sometimes will put some bronzer under there, and that darkens that area, and it really can hide any imperfections. And then for the lips, we start with a lip balm, some lip pencil. You can fill it in or not, lipstick, and then some lip gloss to give the illusion that your lips are fuller if they are thin. So that should be a 5-minute makeup lesson.
Yeah, that sounded awesome. I'll have to play with that. I'm a notorious black liquid liner. Have been since your face. Have been since high school. Guilty. The look came in with Gwen Stefani when I was like a freshman, and I haven't stopped. It's like my favorite thing ever. But
if it makes you happy, then do it. But you know
what? I do. I mean, it does, but I would like to switch it up, and I get kind of like
your eyes are blue.
Mm-hmm.
I would try, a brown, or try a gray.
Mm-hmm.
Just do something that's not liquid. It's just, it's fine, but just do something different. It's not like you're going to be stuck with it the rest of your life. It's one day, you try something different, and you'd be surprised. It's something that's really interesting, the psychology of makeup with women. Like, I have had women that hire me, but then they want to tell me how to do their makeup. And so it's really funny to me that they don't even want to try to see my interpretation of how their makeup should look. So when I have someone like that, they're so, and sometimes it's like, if they're so used to looking a certain way and they have to go on camera, they're distracted. They're not comfortable. So it's part of when I'm working with someone that really is like doesn't do this a lot and is going on in front of the camera, I have to make sure they're comfortable. So even though I may technically know what is more appropriate for them, if they're uncomfortable with how they're feeling and looking, they're going to be so distracted, they're not going to be able to do their job. So I really have to, it doesn't really matter what I think. I want my client to be happy, and I always listen to them, but I will suggest, let's try something one day and see how it goes. Just be open to change. Just be open.
Yeah. If I was sitting in your chair, I'd be like, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, give it to me. Like, that would be so fun. Yeah, no, I'm definitely.
It's fun to do that, because I love when I get a client that's open and lets me just kind of do my interpretation, because most of the time, like, I tell people when they come see me, please don't come trying to impress me with your makeup skills. I'm not going to be impressed, and it's just irritate me, because I'm going to have to like get all that. Like, I am not here to clean your face and get your, 3 weeks of mascara off. So, so I really appreciate when someone is open and lets me just kind of, do what I envision. Look, when someone gets in my chair, I care about your face more than you do. It's because I consider it my face. I really want it to look like the best version of itself. So I really try and, I can kind of wave my little wand and make someone look different than it's so interesting to do someone's makeup that they've never had it done the way, they get stuck in their way so many people say all the time, oh, I've been doing my makeup the same since high school, and they're like 55.
Yeah.
So it's nice to try and be open and try something else. It's like, you don't know, like strawberry ice cream until you try strawberry ice cream, right? So
true that. Do you switch up your makeup a lot?
I do.
Yeah, that's fun.
I do. Like, I'm going to an event tonight. So I just had my hair blown out, and I've got more makeup on than normal, but I try to do it differently. I really try to keep the top of the lid light, and go a little darker in the crease, and, but I do try and do it different. I work on my face a lot.
Cool.
And, because I have to try different things, but every face is different. And can handle more makeup. Some can handle a lot, some can't handle very much. So I have to just see what I have to assess each face.
Of course. Do you happen to give out like makeup tips or anything on Instagram ever, or like show any reels?
I
Yeah.
do. Yes. And then on our YouTube, we have them Makeup Plus, and then if you go to ChristinaFlach.com on the homepage, I'm a beauty expert on NBC on California Live about twice a month. So I do different segments on, beauty and wellness and skincare. So there's all kinds of different videos out there.
Oh, awesome. I'll make sure that gets linked out in the show notes so everyone can check that out. So you said on your Instagram, so we should follow you on Instagram for makeup tips. And then we should go to your website and watch your lives that you just mentioned. So
And you can go to Pretty Girl Makeup as well and order some lip gloss.
yes, that was the last thing I wanted to talk to you about. So yeah, I was looking at your lip gloss and you totally got me. Okay, because I'm like a wateraholic. All right.
Oh, hello.
I know. I know. Look.
That's why I invented. Oh my God, you're my tribe.
Well, that's like right. That's supposed to be like all day, yeah. But I freaking hate, dude. I want my lipstick to stay on. Like
That's why I invented that lip gloss. Be just like that. I would be driving my, car around with all these kids, and it was like water, gloss, water. It was just like constant battle. So I just like everyone that I tried that was, long lasting was really matte and drying. And it was like, ooh, this feels gross.
Thank you.
So mine is, it's like lacquer. It stays on.
Yeah. So, okay. I've tried a bunch of the ones that like say that they have a lot of longevity, and I've had some crazy bad experiences. Like there was this one, I forget the name. I probably wouldn't even say it if I remembered, like 5 or 6 years ago. It was really, really hot, like not in stores, burned. It was like just putting straight rubbing alcohol on your lips. It burned the shit out of your lips, but it really didn't move the rest of the day. But like it was on there so bad that you had to literally
really put on lip gloss. I mean, honestly. So
what?
when people like want it to last all day, I'm like, really? You can't take 2 seconds to just put on some more lip gloss? I don't know. I just think it's funny when they want something that lasts 10 hours. It's like, okay, every few hours, like
yeah.
It's
I mean,
not that hard. Midday. I'm not saying you want to put it on every hour, but you put it on in the morning, then maybe after lunch or in the afternoon. So like normal. But I mean, when someone wants something that's going to last 12 hours, I think that's just a little excessive. It's a little excessive.
It's a little excessive.
It's a lot to ask of one little product.
Amen. And we can reapply.
Yes.
After lunch and
3 seconds.
Yes.
1, 2. Okay, 2 maybe seconds.
Okay, so that was my question, because I'm like, dude, I am not gonna try one of these products that just like burns the shit out of your lips, and then like I literally had to use and scrub like with a makeup wash to get this thing off, and I was like, what is this? Like never again.
I can guarantee you there was some ingredients in there that you probably wouldn't want on your skin.
Amen. Oh my God. All kinds of battery acid and fucking toxic heavy metals. Like, who knows? But I was like, no. One time, I used it one day and I was like, I want my money back. No. Yeah. So when I was looking at yours, I was like, hey, that looks awesome. I should give that a try. And then
we're offering a 20% discount with a discount code Pretty Girl, all one word for your listeners.
Pretty Girl. Okay. Yeah. I did notice some of the colors that I would be into were out of stock. So I was like, dang it.
I know and I'm starting a new line called I'm Too Busy. So we are going to be expanding and doing a skincare and a new makeup line. So I'm working on that too.
How exciting for you. Congratulations.
It is exciting. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So wrapping things up, I always love dropping the nuclear bomb. I had a podcast host do this to me the other day and I literally didn't even know what to say. So now I'm going to do it to you, but it's more gentler.
Okay.
So, as a successful boss babe, which you obviously are, a mother, a beautiful woman, are there any last words that you'd like to leave the women listening to this with?
I would say figure out what you love doing and then figure out how to get paid, and like have a lot of love in your life and enjoy and laugh and love. That's like my mantra. Love and laugh.
Absolutely. That's funny you say that because last night I was just in a mood and I was like, I just need something funny,
Mhm.
just anything. It was like I was just craving laughter. And
Laughter is the best.
I put on a
It,
South Park episode. Do you ever watch South Park?
my kids do. I
I
know.
hard, I hardly watch that, but it just kind of popped up in my feed and I was like, yeah. So I laughed a couple of times and
Did it give you your little laughter fix?
yeah, totally. And I was like, this shit
Good.
is hilarious, but yeah. So thank you. That's so true. Love a lot. And, you know, like you, I've been through a lot of loss, a lot of grief. And when you come up to death, the way you did, and I've been through some really traumatic deaths myself, it really just puts a new perspective on life and how rad life really is and how we need to not take it for granted. And a lot of women, I feel like, close their hearts down to love because they've been hurt or they're scared.
No,
And
I
so
can't stand hearing that's such a cop out. That's just pathetic. I really, you know what? My daughter taught me something. My daughter Melania. You know what? You are not entitled. Like when you love someone, whether it be your husband, your child, your friend, whoever, it doesn't mean you get a million years with that person. It means
mhm.
you get however long the universe decides or God decides you're going to have. So be really grateful for that time and really honor it and treasure it. And you're not honoring your loved one by being scared to love. I was on a hike one day and I could hear my husband speaking to me saying how I'd have these conversations in my head, and I know he's talking to me, just saying like, it's really hard for him to look down on me sad, and he can't comfort me the way he did when he was alive. And so I just thought about like, how would I feel looking at him or my kids or my friends if they're so sad? And it's not honoring them. And if you love someone, go love someone else. It doesn't mean you don't love that person. It's kind of like, my husband, I had a huge heart for him. I have a huge heart for each one of my kids. And now I have another huge heart for my new person. It's all for him. It's one big fat juicy heart, and I love him. He drives me crazy a lot, but I have love for him. And I'm not scared to love. I'm more scared not to love. I mean, I think that's terrible. It makes me so sad to hear someone say they're scared or they don't want it. Well, what are you scared to cross the street too? Like, you're not living if you're not loving. You're not
Mhm.
living unless you're, going out into the world, and that's experiencing life and enjoying life. So if you're here on this planet, live the best life you can, love the most you can,
Yeah.
laugh as hard as you can. So that's what I wish for everyone, to just go have big love, go have big laugh, work hard,
Yeah.
have the life that you want. You're only going to get the life you want by making it happen. It's not going to happen for you. I've created all of the amazing things in my life.
Love that.
It
Yeah.
wasn't given to me, let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. That was beautiful. And being a survivor of like an abusive relationship, I felt those feelings too of like, oh my gosh, I don't want to open myself up to anyone else and get hurt again. And then my brother was shot and I was like, wait a second, what am I doing? Yeah, like it is so awesome to love someone, like even if you get hurt, even if things don't work out in the long run, like the fun and the love that you had in the meantime was so beautiful. And it's always like moving your life in a better, beautiful direction every time you open yourself up and you enjoy and you live and you love and you laugh, regardless if you break up in the end, it's still worth it.
Right, but
So
you also have to, like, I don't feel like there's failures in life. If you're trying, it's not a failure. And I think it's just important to be open and enjoy every moment of your life.
and change your eyeliner.
Oh God, yeah. Clean your makeup brushes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I will definitely link all of your information out in the show notes for everyone to contact you and check you out and get some cool tips. And thank you for everything you shared with us today. I really appreciate your time. So I hope you have a wonderful time at your event tonight.
So much.
And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
I look forward to it. Thank you so much.